I was literally running away from him and he was chasing me with a bottle to pour shots down my throat. Like, is it by force?
I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, moody, nasty, yeah. Acting stupid, what's happening? What's happening? Bitch, I'm a savage.
Hips tick tock when I.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking this video. And wow. Let me just start again. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking this video. And if you're not new here, you already know what's up. You guys are gang and that's on period. So as you guys can see, I'm just like so smiley and happy because I'm so excited to tell a story because I genuinely find this situation so hilarious. So I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm gonna hop right into it. This story is the time that my friend projectile vomited in the Uber. Twice, yo, not just once, but twice. So if you're interested in hearing the story, then just keep on watching. This was when I was 19. Okay, I had just moved back to Toronto from Carleton like this year. And I remember I was doing adult school because I needed to fix some of my grades before I could apply to like a university in Toronto because I was in Carleton like on a special program, but like that's just a little background detail. Like that's really not that important. So while I was in adult school, I was working at this job called Nella Cutlery. I've mentioned them before, literally like the worst job of my life. But I met some like really cool and amazing people that I still talk to this day. So like shout out to y'all. And yeah, the story's gonna be involving one of my coworkers. This was around like November time. I don't even think I worked there anymore. Like I think I quit. I literally quit in November. But one of the coworkers, let's give her name. We're gonna call her Monica. So Monica, she had invited me to go out clubbing with her one time because one of her friends, or so I thought it was a friend, chill. Her friend had a booth at Door 3. And if you guys know anything about like Toronto clubs, like from my experience, I'd say like Door 3 is like, it's a nice club. Like it's a small venue, but it's like always good vibes, like good music. The people there are so attractive, you guys. Like the guys, the girls, I don't know what it is about Door 3, but everybody there is sweet. Like literally will not see an ugly looking person at Door 3. I of course was down because like I just turned 19. I just moved back to Toronto. Like I'm trying to see what the nightlife is all about, you know? So I said, yeah. So I hit up my friend Sophia and I was like, girl, like, come on, right? So that night we had met at McDonald's. We ate like a quick meal and we were just catching up, whatever. And then after that we decided to because as you guys know, buying drinks at the club is mad expensive and we didn't have guap like that. Like we were literally broke university students. Well, I was about to be a broke university student, right? So we walked up the street to the LCBO and we bought like a little Mickey of, I'm pretty sure it was vodka. I don't even remember because this was like how many years ago, but I'm pretty sure it was vodka. And then we poured that into our like oh my god, mom, dad, I'm so sorry, please click off the video, just click off. We poured that into our McDonald's cups and we were like drinking that on the bus, right? So then we had to take a bus and then we had to take a train and then we had to take another bus, right? So as we were on the second bus, we seen some people that we knew from high school, right? So we're like, yo, isn't that like so-and-so? It was 3 guys, right? So we went up to the guys, we were just like saying hi to them, whatever, catching up. And they were like, oh, what are you guys doing tonight? We're going to this place. And they said like another club. They're like, oh, you should come. And we're like, nah, like we already have plans. We're getting a booth at Door 3, whatever, guys. We're so dumb. We should have went with them. We should have went with them, y'all. We should have went with them. So afterwards we got off the bus and then we decided that like we were gonna call an Uber because we were low-key running late. We had to be in line at a certain time to get in for free, right? Like to be able to get in with the guy's booth. So I had the responsibility of calling the Uber, y'all. Like what the foolishness that's about to happen next, I completely take full blame for it. So I called the Uber and we're in the Uber ready to say, and I'm looking around, like time is passing. At least like 5-10 minutes has passed, right? And the surroundings start to get a little familiar. So I'm like, this is looking like my ends. Like I'm confused because I swear Door 3 is downtown, right? So I checked the Uber app and I see that like it says, oh, we're going home. So then I was like, what the hell? Why are we going home? Because guys, I promise you, like I distinctly remember in my mind me typing in the address of Door 3. Like I checked it multiple times, you guys, just because I didn't want this specific scenario to happen, because I swear like something like this had happened to me before. So I literally distinctly remember typing in the address of Door 3, you guys. Like I do not know how we ended up on our way back home. We immediately jumped out of the Uber as soon as we noticed that we weren't going to the right place. And then I was like panicking, calling Monica because I was like, oh, are we still gonna be able to get in, blah blah blah. And we're like mad late, y'all, mad late. Like I felt so bad, but she was like, yeah, just still come, don't worry, like I'll be able to get you in, blah blah blah. Mind you guys, it was November, like it was cold out. We were just struggling. So we call the second Uber, we get to the club. Editing fee here. I'm just here to insert a quick little, because I forgot a part of the story, but basically when me and Sophia were waiting in line, we're standing in line for like a good 20 minutes and it was mad cold. So like, you know, everyone was not in a good mood. We were all complaining. So all of a sudden we hear a commotion and we see everyone in line looking up across the street, like at the apartment buildings. Because the way how like door 3 is, it's like a, I don't want to say an alley, but like if you're from Toronto, then you know. But anyways, we looked across the street, we looked up, we in the window, guys, tell me how it was like the window pane, the glass had shattered and fell to the ground, right? We look up and you guys are actually never gonna believe what we seen in the window. Why did we look up and saw 2 people having sex in the window? Like they broke the window. That's why the glass fell to the ground. Like, huh? This night literally just went from wild to wilder. We get in, everything's knock, good. At this time, whatever little drinks that we had taken before, like, at least for me, the drinks had wore off. Sophia, I don't know how she was feeling at that point, but for me, like the drinks had worn off, right? So we get in, we get to the booth. It's kind of sucks because like the booth, like the section that the booth was in, it was kind of dead. Like there wasn't really anyone there, so I felt like kind of self-conscious to like dance. Like literally nobody was dancing. Like everybody was sitting down. We didn't even get like any of our like bottles or anything at the booth yet. Like it was just like kind of dead, and it was kind of awkward because like I literally did not know anyone but my friend Sophia and Monica, right? And there was like a bare other people there too, so we weren't just like really mingling like that. So it was just like really awkward. So me and Sophia were just sitting there like you know, to ourselves, dancing in our seats in our little corner. Like everything was good, whatever. I was just like talking to Monica, like, you know, catching up, whatever, right? So then you guys, this is where the tea-fulness starts to unfold. So tell me how. So when Monica had originally invited me to come out, she told me that like it was her friend that had gotten a booth, right? So tell me why I look and I see them all cuddled up, all booed up at each other. I don't know if they were kissing, like I don't remember because this was a few years ago, guys, but I swear they had kissed at least like once. Please do not quote me on that because I might be wrong, but they were definitely like dancing on each other. So that wouldn't have been a problem, but the fact was that like Monica had a man, like she had a boyfriend. Like we used to work together, like she would tell me about her life, like I knew she had a boyfriend. I was like, what's going on right now? But at the same time, that ain't none of my business. Monica, if you watching this, I'm so sorry to blast you like this, but like, yeah, girl, yeah. So that was happening. Me and Sophia were just like, and you know what's so crazy? You guys know what's so crazy? Monica's boyfriend literally worked at Sophia's job. Monica's boyfriend literally worked at Sophia's job. So me and Sophia were just looking at each other like, girl, what is going on right now? But at the same time, that's none of our business. We're there, we're vibing, having a good time. We look across the room to like the other booths that were there. And then Sophia's like, oh crap, like I know that girl, right? And if she sees me, like I'm gonna get in trouble. Because mind you guys, we're African. We are Africans. We had no business being there. Our parents did not know where we were. I don't know what I told my mom, but I definitely did not tell her I was going to a club. Like, what? So like that was just a whole nother thing. Like we had to avoid the girl. Thankfully she ended up like walking away. I guess she went to like go dance and stuff like that in the main part of the club, but thankfully we just didn't have to deal with her. But at the same time I was like, girl, how you gonna tell on me but you're in the club doing the same thing? Like I see with a bottle in your hand. So at the end of the day, if you're not gonna say nothing, I'm not gonna say nothing either. And period. So eventually the bottles came, you know, we were turning up a little bit. I was really not trying to do too much with the drinking because at the end of the day, like I still had to go home, right? And Sophia's crazy ass had work the next morning at 6 a.m. So I really do not even know why she came out with me in the first place. But shout out to her, like she's a real one for that because I did not want to go by myself. So I was just like doing little mixed drinks. Like I didn't take any shots. It was giving vodka cranberry. Vodka cranberry me, please. Like that's the type of timing that I was on the whole time, right? But the guy whose booth that it was, like he was really nice, really friendly, and he was trying to like make sure everyone turned up and have a good time. But yo, like no means no. Guys, you know those ones where like they come around with a bottle and they like pour shots in your mouth, whatever. Everyone's like, hey, turn up. Yeah, he was doing that. But guys, when I tell you, I was literally running away from him and he was chasing me with the bottle to pour shots down my throat. Like, is it by force? Like, is it by force though? Like, is it by force? It's not making sense. Like, Sophia's dumbass was throwing the shots back like she was a linebacker. Like, I don't know who, mind you guys, Sophia is 5'2". 5'2". I don't know where, I don't know who, I don't know how she thought she was gonna back out of alcohol, but she was throwing the shots back, and she has a low tolerance too. It's not even like Girl. So after a while, like, you know, the alcohol starts to kick in. We all start to turn up, get up out of our seats and like actually dance and stuff like that. And that, like, guys, that's when the night just went downhill. Like, literally, Sophia, as soon as she stood up, the alcohol hit. As soon as she stood up, the alcohol hit. Like, she was on another level. Like, guys, I really wish I had videos. Like, I have videos. I really wish I could insert them, but just to protect Sophia's identity, I can. But guys, like, she was lit in another world. And like any other time, that would have been fine. I would have encouraged, you know? Like, I always encourage people to like have a great time at a party, but this time... So eventually, I want to say at like 1:30. Yeah, definitely 1:30, because I remember back then, like, my curfew was definitely not curfew because I wasn't even allowed to go out, but when I would go out, if I did not come home by 2 a.m, like if I was not in my crib by 2 a.m, like, girl, it's some problems, right? So I remember 1:30 had come and I was like, okay, like, time to leave, right? We gotta go home. Mind you, this girl has work at 6 a.m. Like, I don't think she's remembering that. I'm remembering that, but she's not remembering that, because she's literally like, no, let's just stay for like 10 more minutes. Like, let's just stay until for this last song. Like, let's just stay. And I'm like, girl, like, bring your ass. Like, what? So we finally end up leaving, right? And then we leave like the front door and we walk around a corner and we go to an alley because Sophia's like, oh, I have to throw up, right? So I'm like, okay, no big deal. Like, you know, that happens when you drink. You just throw up and then you feel good, right? Wrong. We go to the dumpster. She's throwing up. I want to say we stayed there for like a good 5-10 minutes. She was just like throwing up a little bit. It was not really a big deal. But then like after a while, she's like, okay, I'm good, right? So then after that, we had walked to a McDonald's that was like around the corner. Like, literally everybody from the club was in that McDonald's. Like, the McDonald's was packed. When I say packed, filled to capacity. It was overloaded. We went in the bathroom and we just decided that we were just gonna make her throw up and get it out of her system so that she could be good, y'all. So like, me being the good ass friend that I am, I had to stick my fingers down her throat and make her throw up. Guys, I'm so sorry. Like, this is so nasty, but this is so funny at the same time. I really was there. We were really in the bathroom over the toilet with my fingers down her throat, like making her throw up. So that happened, right? She finished doing her thing and she's like, okay, I'm good, like, we can go, right? And I kept asking her, like, Sophia, are you sure? Like, are you sure you're good? And she's like, yeah, like, I'm good. Like, I'm done throwing up. Like, I'm good, right? So we're walking out the bathroom. I'm walking in front of her, right? I have, like, paper towel in my hand that I'm gonna go throw up. You guys know how McDonald's trash is. It's just like a flat, like, tabletop and you just throw it in. So I'm doing that, right? I'm throwing it in. Why I turn around and I see Sophia standing with vomit all over the ground. Like, she literally vomited in the middle of the floor, you guys. When I tell you everybody in that McDonald's was looking at us, like, bruh. Like, obviously she felt so bad and she was like so embarrassed and like literally on the verge of tears, and I just grabbed her. I'm like, Sophia, it's okay, you're never gonna see these people again. Guys, pro tip, whenever you embarrass yourself in public, just tell yourself you're never gonna see these people again, because I promise you, you're never gonna see them again, especially if you live in a big ass city like Toronto. So after that happened, I guided her out and I decided to call our Uber, right? The Uber pulls up, y'all. We're driving, going home. The Uber is like, he's not speaking, which I like when the Uber drivers don't try to make a conversation. Just get me from point A to point B, please and thank you. I'm talking to Sophia and she's like, oh, I don't feel good. Like, I feel like I have to throw up. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. Like, just so ghetto, you guys. Do not be like us. If you have to vomit, tell the driver to pull over. Because please, why did I tell her to roll down the window? Like, huh? Why did I tell her to roll down the window? What was that gonna solve? Like... But literally before she could even like move her hand to roll the window, guys, have you, oh my gosh, guys, I don't think you're understanding. Like, when I say projectile vomit, like, it just literally shot out of her mouth. Guys, I can't make this up, bro. She literally projectile vomited into the back of the front seat. Like, it literally just all over. The driver was pissed. I was like, oh my gosh, bro, what is happening right now? And then like, she was trying to like, she was trying to like catch the vomit in her hands, right? So she was like this, right? So then obviously the driver like pulls over and he's like so pissed off because we just like ruined his car. Guys, mind you, yeah, like she had literally just bought, you guys know the TNA Super Puff, like the Aritzia Super Puff jacket that cost 250 Canadian dollars. That's the brand new jacket that she was wearing. Plus she was wearing new jeans, y'all. And she literally just threw up all over her outfit. Like, it was so tragic, right? The driver pulls over. I get Sophia out of the car. I literally just dash her in the snow. Like I just put her in the snow because I'm like, I can't deal with you right now. The driver, like he brings like a little pack of like napkins out of his trunk or whatever. He makes me like clean the seat, and I'm like, you know what, let me just take this out right now. I'll just clean the seat because you honestly don't deserve this, sir. Like I feel so bad right now, like you don't deserve this. So I'm cleaning the seat, whatever. Sophia's like sitting on the side of the road throwing up, literally just like throwing her life away, just vomiting her life away. I finished like cleaning the seat to the driver's satisfaction. I get Sophia back in the car and he's like, oh, let me just complete your guys' ride because you already ruined my car. Like I'm done for the night. I was so grateful. I'm like, sir, like thank you. I'm so sorry. He's like, oh, you guys know you're gonna have to pay a cleaning fee. I'm like, that's fine. Just charge it to my car. Like he was actually being very nice to us. Like he really did not have to do that. He did not have to continue the ride with us, but like he was so nice for that, right? So after we get back in the car, where we drive to like a gas station and he buys a roll of paper towel, and I'm like, he's so smart that he did that. He bought a roll of paper towel, right? And I guess he was like planning to clean up his car more in depth afterwards. So we're driving, and then this girl Sophia starts moaning and groaning again. So I'm like, oh Sophia, no. So then she starts like vomiting, but this time she's like vomiting into her hands. Like it's only like a little bit, like she's like spitting up. Guys, basically the paper towel roll was in the front passenger seat and I'm behind the passenger seat. So I was like reaching around, like pulling the paper, trying to like create a basket of the paper, right? She's not like spitting up at this point, like this projectile vomit once again. So I was like, and I put the paper towel basket like underneath her mouth, right? So at this point she's throwing up into the thing. I'm holding it there. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? No, like not again. Sophia, no. Like I'm getting mad at this point. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you? Like, why do you keep throwing up? But I understand that like it's not like she didn't mean it on purpose, right? Like I understand, but I'm like still irritated because I'm like, bro, like I'm just trying to get home. Like at this point it's past 2 a.m. Like my mom's gonna beat my ass, like bro, like. And then the driver's obviously cheese. He's like, bro, like at this point, nah, y'all gotta get out my car. So like, he pulls over and he kicks us out on some random abandoned road, you guys. Like it's literally like 2 a.m. at this point, 2:30 a.m. He kicks us out on a random abandoned road. I'm like, hey, like, bruh. So then Sophia is like, she's apologizing. She's like, I'm so sorry. Like I don't understand why I keep throwing up. Like she's like, how did I get so drunk? Like I just she's like, why did I drink so much? Oh my gosh, never again. She's like feeling bad for herself. I'm just like, girl, just stop throwing up so that we can go home. Like, so then I call another Uber, right? And then the Uber pulls up. You guys, we're literally standing on an abandoned road at 2:30 a.m. okay, in some random neighborhood in Toronto. Okay, it's not a main road. It is a side street, like in an actual neighborhood. Okay, so like literally anything could have happened to us. So the next Uber pulls up, but literally as soon as the next Uber pulls up, this girl Sophia starts throwing up again. So I'm like, bruh. At this point I just told the Uber to go. I'm like, don't even wait, it's okay, like whatever, we'll just figure it out. She's throwing up, whatever. So then we start walking because we're like on a long ass sidewalk, right? So we start walking down the sidewalk, to just make her keep throwing up, whatever. So hopefully she can stop and then I can call an Uber, right? So we can go home. Eventually we get to the end of the road and thank God we see a McDonald's, you guys. Shout out to McDonald's. They're always saving the day. Like we see another McDonald's. So we went in there and we went in the bathroom and she was just throwing up in the bathroom. At this point I'm like so over it. Like I'm emotionally drained. I'm exhausted. Like I want to go home. I'm gonna get in trouble. Like I'm just not even looking forward to what I'm gonna deal with when I go home. So I'm like calling my friend because my other friend, she was also out and she had invited me to come out with her too, but I was like, no, like I got invited. Oh my gosh, I'm like, oh my god, this is what happening. And my friend, like, she knows Sophia too because we all went to the same high school, right? I'm like, oh my god, this is what's happening with Sophia. Like, I don't know what to do. Where are you? Blah, blah, blah. Can she stay at your house? Because Sophia was asking me like, oh my god, I can't go home like this. Like, my mom can't see me like this. Can I please come to your house? Can I sleep over? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, girl, you want my mom to kill us both? Like, girl, like, you should have known. And I felt so bad because like I wish we could just have people sleeping over our houses like that. Like, I really wish, like, I wish I could have done something more for her. I was literally like calling my friends. I'm like, yo, can this girl stay at your house? I called one of my like next door neighbors. I'm like, yo, like this is what's happening. Are you home? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, nah, I'm not even home. I can't even help you. I was like, bruh, like, why do these things always happen to me, right? Eventually, Sophia stops throwing up. And we are finally able to get an Uber. And this time, she does not open an Uber. We finally get all the way back to our ends. Thankfully, me and Sophia only live like a 5-minute drive away from each other. So it wasn't anything for us to split the Uber. I dropped Sophia off first. I watched her like walk into her mom was literally waiting for her at the door. Like her mom literally opened the door. I don't know what lie she told her mom as to why her clothes were messed up, but all I know is that she got home safely that night. When I got home, my mom was like, really? Look at the time, because guys, I got home at like 4 a.m. Like literally got home at 4 a.m. and my mom was just like, really? Look at the time. I was like, mommy, it's not even my fault this time. Like seriously, just chill, because it's not even my fault this time. I just went to my room and I went to bed. And guys, when I tell you that cleaning fee was like $100, and plus like my credit card was already almost maxed out, so that $100 like put me over my limit, so then I had to pay like another overdraft, is that what it's called? I have to pay another charge for that. So I was just like, bro, like I'm really down bad right now. Like I'm really down bad. But all in all, it was a fun night. Shout out to Monica for inviting us out. Shout out to Joy 3. I really do like that club. Like I have been there again more recently, and I still like have the same opinion about it. Great vibe, great music, very attractive people, you know. Yeah, it was just really unfortunate. I don't know what happened that night, why Sophia was like throwing up her literal life, her literal intestines. Like I don't know why, because that has never happened before with her. Like that's never happened before. But yeah, that was a story time of how my friend projectile vomited in the Uber twice. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I hope it made you laugh, and let me know if you guys want more videos like this from me, because like I have so many stories to tell, literally. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next one.